Okay, all right, so what we've currently got where we are, all the chambers have epoxy in them, sealing them up. These back here are very cured, so these have at least 2 layers. These have 2 layers, these have 2 layers, and the front have their first coat on this. This is the doubler that I had talked about before, so the cleats, or these little supports, are a little lower, and this sits flush with the rest of the boat here. This is the reason that we made this doubler. This is for when we put the grab bar in, it's got to have something pretty solid to screw into. So essentially it's going to be like 3/4 inch board by the time it's screwed. It's going to be super solid right here in the center. It's pretty early in the morning actually, so I did this cold and I went ahead and did like a test pour. So what you're going to see, I'd had my kids just see how the foam works in these cups, and they kind of expanded. I'm going to keep using that foam though, so I chopped that foam in half, and then I did a test pour of about 6 ounces. And this is after, probably 5-10 minutes. It is no longer tacky or barely tacky. It's not warm anymore, and it's pretty solid. So you want to do these, at least what I was reading, you want to do them in courses or in little bits as you go until this is full. So one of the things when I was first building this boat is I thought it said you basically would need one kit of flotation foam. And I don't think that's the case. I think you need 2 kits. So I've got another kit on order. This is basically, I'm down to the last of this foam, and I got about 5 chambers done. But they're the biggest chambers. These kind of narrow as we go up. But before I finished out the flotation foam, that foam is the same thing used to make duck decoys if you happen to have a mold. And I happen to have a mold. It comes in 2 pieces because you can order different heads. And the folks who made this, the original guy, if you start looking up how to make duck decoys online, you're gonna find all kinds of information. The original guy who made these since sold his company to somebody else, sold the castings, and that person sells these on eBay. So you can still find these, just can't remember his name at the moment. And you can find all kinds of heads, and then just like different poses, and then you get one body, and then you glue the different heads onto that. So when I was researching this back when I was super interested in making decoys, the bodies are made of 8-pound foam. It's a little more dense, and the heads are made of 2-pound foam, which is what I'm pouring in this boat, what the plans call for. So the way that you do this, and I'll do a short on this too, just without all the steps explained, is you're gonna coat a release agent, in this case turtle wax, inside the head. And then when you pour the foam in there, you're supposed to hurriedly put these bolts in, and you wanna make sure you get bolts that match. And these castings are not the same. They don't line up quite right. The edges don't all line up, so it is kind of a rush. The other thing that you could try to do is squeeze these shut with clamps. You might be able to do that. So one thing, I guess you could pour it in here, slide it shut, and then try to do the other one. All these bolts, I think, are the same size, and they all are threaded all the way through. I guess you could ream these out, make them easier, and then also try to clamp it together. That's my only thought. You can't get a perfect seal, so when they come out, you're gonna have to trim the edges up out of it, but we will do one of these at the same time and see how it goes. We'll do it over one of these chambers because there's foam going in there anyway. So you want some kind of release agent or you'll never get these things out of here. And the agent that I found that was heavily suggested was turtle wax. And hopefully this stuff is still good because it's at least a couple of years old. And just coat all of it with the turtle wax because you're gonna get foam everywhere on this guy because it's gonna seep out. "30 or 60 seconds, I think, is all you actually need in these. So I'm gonna hold up real fast and we'll go ahead and pour this in here. Okay, now I'm gonna close her up and we'll hopefully get this dang thing in here. And you can't tip it because it'll spill. What a mess, man.